Hey guys, it's Kara from iStampin.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you this adorable little party favor box. It's like a little sour cream holder. I just think these are just the cutest little things to make. You just can fill it up with some candy. But I thought it was really cute, the stamp set that I chose. This is coming from our Occasions catalog. This is the We Must Celebrate stamp set. You can find this on page 39. Has these fun little critters, and I just thought that snail was just absolutely adorable. So I just used some of the Stampin' Blends to color that in. I'm also pulling in some of our free celebration items. This is the final month of celebration, so if these are some things that you haven't had a chance to pick up, you still have some time. This is using the Bubbles and Fizz Designer Series paper, which is a free celebration item, along with the shimmery ribbon pack. So both of these items are part of our celebration promotion. So like I said, you have until the end of the month to grab those up. All right, before we get started, I just want to announce my March class. It's called Lots of Lavender. So this is my customer appreciation free class. So when you purchase from me this month, you will receive a link to this classroom, and you'll just want to use that hostess code when you make an online purchase. If it's $150 or more, you don't want to use that code. You will receive this class for free, along with everybody who uses that code this month. You will receive a free gift from me as well. So it's Lots of Lavender. This is our celebration stamp set. So again, this is the last month that you can grab this item for free as well. All right, so let's get started. So I already have our Designer Series paper cut. Again, this is the Bubbles and Fizz Designer Series paper. This measures 5.5 by 4 1/4. And what I'm going to do to create the little sour cream holder is you're going to want to grab your tear and tape, and we are going to put adhesive on either side, just on the short end. Since I'm left-handed, I like to do it on the right side. So I'm just going to lay down some tear and tape right here. And then I'm going to flip it over, and on the bottom part of this piece, I'm just going to put some tear and tape right here in the center. And this is what's going to keep our little container closed. I like to burnish it with the bone folder, so I'm just going to do that. And this helps me remove the backing strip a little bit easier. So you'll want to remove both pieces. So just hold on to it, because you don't want to put this down or it's going to get stuck to whatever surface you have laying on your table. So just gently remove this. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it together, and we're going to make like a toilet paper holder or toilet paper roll. So I'm just going to gently just match up the ends like so, and then just run my finger or fingers along the inside and burnish that really well. And then the bottom right here, so you'll just want to figure out which end has the tear and tape. You're just going to pinch that together like so. Okay. Now from here, this is where you're going to want to fill in your goodies. I'm not going to fill this up just because this is for demonstration purposes, but this is where you'd want to fill it up. You can actually fit quite a bit in there. And then you're going to want to take a paper crimper, and I'm just going to crimp the edges. So actually, I guess you want to do this first before you fill it up with the candy. So I'm just going to turn it like halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way, and just give it that crimped edge, just, you know, kind of reminiscent of the old-timey sour cream holders. And then what we're going to do is just pinch it the opposite way, and then this is where we get that shape. All right, and so now what we're going to need to do is just to figure out which is the front and which is the back. Since my seam is right here, I'm going to have this be the front. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to take my 1/8 inch handheld punch, circle punch, and I'm going to punch 2 holes where this will be where the ribbon feeds into, and just try to line it up as good as you can. Those are really wonky, but that's okay. That's really crooked. So try to do a better job than me. I did a good job on this one, but not so much that. The great thing is this ribbon kind of hides your mistakes. So this is the medium width, or is this the largest? I think this may be the largest width. Yeah, this is the largest width of the shimmery ribbon. Like I said, this is a free item that you can get during the month of March. When you spend at least $50 before tax and shipping, you're able to choose a free celebration item. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start the ribbon and feed it through the back, from the back. Okay. And sometimes you may have to use your scissors to help you poke it through. These holes are just a little bit small for this width of ribbon, but it won't damage it because we're going to clean up the edges. Okay, so you're just going to feed it through like that, and you want to make sure that you have a pretty good length of tail on one end, on the end where the ribbon starts. And now I'm just going to cut off the end here, because what we're going to do is we're just going to twist the ribbon and just feed it through the front again. Okay, and so here now, again, this is where something pointy like a pair of scissors will come handy, and just get that piece of ribbon to pull back through the front like so. Okay, and we're just going to do this on the other side. And this obviously is what closes the little container. Okay, there we go. And so you can see, even though my holes were really crooked, it doesn't look so bad. All right, and now just take your scissors and just clean up the edges. I like to cut my ribbon on an angle, and then I'll cut this side a little bit shorter so that they're somewhat even. And then we shouldn't have any problems with that ribbon fraying. Okay, all right, so now let's do our stamping. This is the fun part. So I'm using the We Must Celebrate stamp set. Like I said, this is out of the Occasions catalog, and I'm going to be using the mushrooms along with the snail. And I'm going to stamp this on Whisper White thick cardstock. So I just have a piece right here, but if you look at my sample, you'll see that the mushrooms are behind the snail. So we're going to do a little bit of masking. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is to stamp the snail. So I'm using Memento Tuxedo ink because I am going to be doing some coloring with our Stampin' Blends. And I'm just going to stamp the snail about right there. So I've just got a piece of Post-it note paper right here. I'm stamping up where the sticky part is. And what you're going to do is just come right around here and just cut as close to the image as you can without cutting it off. This is really simple. And I didn't completely cut down in between the snail's antennas, but I did just kind of trim off this part right here, just because I wasn't quite sure where the mushrooms are going to fit on the snail. So I felt I was pretty safe leaving the space in between the antennas. This is a little tedious. Once you do it once, just stick this in your little stamp container, your stamp case container, and then I guess that was kind of redundant, your stamp set case, there we go. And then you can have this for all future projects if you want to do this kind of technique again. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to take my little mask and cover up the snail. And then I've got my mushrooms on the other side of this block. And now I'm just going to come in and just stamp right over the snail. And that's going to give the appearance that the snail is in front of the mushrooms. Isn't that adorable? Oh, I love it. It's such a simple technique and really quite easy. Okay, so I'm going to do some coloring with our Stampin' Blends. I've got quite a few little combo packs. First off, I'm going to start off with Smoky Slate. That's going to be the snail's body. For the mushrooms, I'm going to be using the Crumb Cake combo pack, Calypso Coral, Pool Party, and Daffodil Delight. And I'm just pulling these colors really just from the designer series paper and just kind of what I think, you know, kind of cartoonish mushrooms may look like. I'm going to zoom in while I do this, and this is quite easy. So let's go ahead and start off with the base of the mushrooms. I'm going to color them all the same. I'm going to start off with a light Crumb Cake. Now what I want to do next is I kind of want to ground this image where it looks like the snail and the mushrooms just aren't floating up in the air. So I'm going to use my light Crumb Cake, and I'm just going to gently just kind of scribble something like that, which kind of gives it the appearance that it's on dirt. Okay, I had to recolor it. I messed it up. So the next thing you're going to do is to grab your layering squares framelits, and we are going to be die cutting this out. So this framelit is about a little over 2.5 inches wide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut. I'm going to actually place the die cut close to where I colored in the ground. I want to have a little bit more white space up at the top. If you see here on my sample, I left, in my opinion, a little too much white space on the bottom. So I'm going to just shift this up. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to find the coordinating scallop punch or die that is just a little bit larger than this plain square. And you will want to die cut this out using our Myths and Magic glimmer paper. You can find this in our Occasions catalog as well. So let's go ahead and die cut those out, and then we'll put the card together. Here is our scallop square in the glimmer paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer the plain square using tear and tape to the glimmer paper, and then we'll just attach that, making sure that you can see scallops evenly around all the 4 sides. Okay, and then just press really good. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Now let's go ahead and bring our little sour cream holder back in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 dimensionals right here in the center of the square, because that's where I want it to be popped up. So it's going to look like that. Isn't that darling? All right, so let's just finish out our project. So what you're going to want to do next is just get a scrap piece of lemon lime twist, and I chose to use the We Must Celebrate stamp from the same stamp set. All right, and I'm just using the Memento ink, and then I'm going to use our classic label punch and just punch that out. Just make sure that's straight. That looks good. Then I'm going to use just a little bit of snail, and I'm just putting that right there in the middle of the of the cardstock. And then that's going to go right on top, and that's going to fill in the white space that I left at the top. And you can actually, you know, if you want a little bit more white space, whoops, I'm sorry. If you want a little bit more white space, you can do that. I may have cut it a little bit too close, but anyway, that kind of gives you an idea. So let me zoom out here so you can see it a little bit better. All right, and so here's my first one. So you can see that each one of these is going to be completely unique. So, you know, you can play around with how much of the cardstock you want showing from your little image. But I really hope you liked today's project. It gave you some masking, some more exposure to the masking technique. That's just a really fun way to utilize your stamps in a variety of ways. Really extend them and like I said, use them differently. But that again was the We Must Celebrate stamp set. That is in our Occasions catalog. And then the Designer Series paper and the ribbon, these are celebration items that you can earn for free the rest of this month. This was the Bubble and Fizz Designer Series paper and then the Shimmery Ribbon combo pack. All right, guys, well, I hope you liked today's project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you head on over to my blog, istampin.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter right there. And also, don't forget about the March card class, the special. So when you place an online order, you receive this class for free, and there is the hostess code. And this does expire March 31st this month. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.